Welcome back, guys. Today we begin work on blood magic. I've been spending a little time preparing for this, but figured I'd bring you in to see some of the last steps involved in actually starting the mod. Here we go. I have a blood altar and a sacrificial knife. And those are the two key devices. So I spent a little time, as I said, preparing for this. I made us a room for blood magic. I'll need to get another stone brick cover to place there. But this is our lovely open-air blood magic room. I might add a roof eventually, but for the time being, I think having it open to the air is fine. This edifice here is the blood magic sacrificial altar. You can see we have the blood altar, which is a block, but to upgrade it, you need to build a large structure around it. Most of the structure here is somewhat inconsequential. All the stone brick and stone stairs isn't going to matter in the end. What will matter is the nether rack, which we will replace with blood magic runes, I think they are. And when we do, it will upgrade our altar to higher tiers. So, let's get started. Place our blood altar here. You might notice that I had a conduit underneath the altar. Eventually, what that will do is add some of the blood that this mod is named after, the life essence, into the altar, and we'll generate it somewhere else. This is good because the runes can actually give benefits to the altars, and those benefits can be quite specialized. But now that we have a blood altar, we need to begin our, well, rather macabre work. The blood altar is run off of the life essence of mobs and players. So, using this sacrificial knife, you can see every time I use it, it takes off a little bit of my health and adds blood to the altar. The first thing we will need to really begin the mod is a blood orb. Let's see. The weak blood orb. And for that, we need a diamond and 2,000 life points. I don't really recall how many each prick of my sacrificial knife adds. Oops. So I'm just going to prick myself a little bit more and try very hard not to accidentally kill myself. And then I will add a diamond. And hopefully that's enough to get us our orb. If it isn't, what will happen is that crafting will stop and actually revert a little bit. And that's why this is annoying, because every time, if you don't have enough essence, you actually don't end up gaining anything by standing here and poking yourself more. You need enough essence the first time, otherwise you really won't ever complete your crafting. I think we currently have enough, though, and hopefully... there we go. In fact, we do. So, if we take this blood orb, it's currently unattuned. If we right-click with it, it attunes it to us. And now we have a blood magic life points network. When we place this orb into the altar, it will begin to absorb the life essence within and add it to our network. Pretty cool. Now we can use this to upgrade our altar, which will eventually give us access to even better things. I think, though, what we should look into first is a way to heal ourselves when we use the altar, because for some time still, that is going to be the primary way we fill up our blood magic. So give me just a moment, and I will look into ways we can heal ourselves that will hopefully allow us to make greater use of the blood altar. Okay. I decided that the best course of action was to look into another mod. So I built us a cozy little Dartcraft room. Took some doing, but I think if we make ourselves an upgrade tome, we should be ready to get started. The only other thing we'll need is a stack of force gems, which should fill up the liquid force in our infusion. Force infuser, that is. Let's show Makosa how to use our... Looks better if I place it on the bottom. So yes, let's show him how to use our force infuser. Or, actually, now that I think about it, I didn't. Arcane Reconstructor, that's right. That is this. This is a pretty nifty device. So, happy to have people use it though, as it's currently using light essence, which I generate for free every time it's daylight out. Okay, so back to Dartcraft. As we see here, we now have a force infuser, and can be used to imbue force tools with special upgrades. I believe if we take the upgrade tome, no. Oh, so this is the Book of Medora. This is the book that details all the blocks and their function and items in Dartcraft, but I just remembered I don't think it's the Book of Medora we want. I think it's this question mark. Ah, there we go. Okay, make a Book of Medora. So, what we want to do is do these infusions, which should allow us to upgrade the tome. What we want eventually is to be able to put the healing upgrade on something, which will allow us to make a healing torch. Should be pretty useful. First, however, we will need to do some of these infusions. So, if we put the sword in and infuse it with a force nugget and a claw, let's see. This is probably a force nugget, this is probably a claw. This should give us experience on our upgrade tome, which will allow us to do higher tiered things. Okay, damage and knockback. We've unlocked those too. Let's look here. Sugar and force logs. We can infuse something else with sugar and a force log. And why not? Let's make a force axe to use these. In the meantime, I think I'll plant a few of these force saplings, because I think I'll be using quite a bit of the force stuff. Here and here. Okay. So, we need to make a force axe. For that, we will need more force ingots. There we go. Now, by putting that in, sugar and a force log, hopefully we unlock everything we can from this. Great, we got the lumberjack and speed upgrades. Okay. Now, as you can see, we've unlocked additional things that we can research by using them. We've also upgraded our tome to level 2, which means we've got 3 slots we can use. I am going to go through and upgrade things until I can find the healing upgrade, which will allow us to make healing torches. I will be back once I've done that. Well guys, I did it. I have here healing torches from Dartcraft. I actually had to upgrade some things. I got a force grinder that I set up to run off of one of our solar panels because I was having problems converting power from RF to EU. I think the problem is just that universal cables from Mechanism don't like connecting to the Ender IO energy conduits. I don't know. Didn't feel like troubleshooting that too much, so I just grabbed the solar panel and hooked it up. But I managed to completely unlock all of the upgrades from the upgrade tome. Now we can imbue things Dartcraft style. And I managed to get our healing torches. I got one other thing that I really think is cool. A bunch of force rods that can give me potion effects. I can actually give myself a regen effect or a night vision or invisibility effect. That's pretty cool. But this one, the Rod of Return, is really awesome. So I had to bind it to my base, but now that I did, I can be anywhere in any dimension. Right click, and poof, here I am. That's pretty cool. Now the question is, can I repair this? Not in this. Although I think most Dartcraft items can be repaired using the Force Infuser. So this will actually infuse it with this liquid force, which will allow me to charge it with force. Awesome. Okay, so right now it's got 10,000 force. Right click again. 9,900. Okay. Uses 100 force. That is fine by me, and I can always refill it. Okay, and of course it starts raining. The moment I am ready to do this, let's see if I can't fix that. Okay, so I've got my my weather handgun ammo. If we shoot this up into the sky, first it will worsen the storm, but I think eventually it clears it. Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. You may have heard my son in the background there. He was asking me a question. Had to help him out. Oh, okay. Now it's cleared. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I'm recording at kind of a weird time today to try and get an episode out for you. So I'm watching my son at the same time. Yeah, I am not confident that will be the last interruption, so I apologize, but so it is. Okay. Sun is shining. Let's come on over here and place our healing torches. So I actually made a bunch of them, so we would have plenty. So let's place them. Oh, of course, 12. Let's see. Take one away here, one away here, one away here. We can put one here. We've got 2 left I'll place more of them on the side. There. Lovely. So, theoretically now, when we cut ourselves, we should get pretty quickly healed by the torches. Nice. So, if we put our blood orb in, it's going to absorb the blood from the altar. And we can continue to add blood in, even though it damages us. The heart display with some of my extra Tinker's Construct hearts is a little bit buggy, but as you can see, when I get down to real hearts, it kicks right in, and I can definitely tell. So I'm not really in danger of completely killing myself. Okay, so now that we have that, we have to consider upgrading this. To upgrade the altar, we will need runes. And a basic rune... Oh, here we go, a blood rune. We need our orb, but we also need blank slates. We make those by putting stone into the altar. So, if we come over here and grab some stone, and a hopper, maybe? Let's see. Normally, if you right-click onto the altar, one of these is going to go in. But if we use a hopper, we can send in the whole stack. It just takes a lot longer. So I'm going to stand here and cut myself until all of that stack of stone becomes tablets. I'll see you in a little while. Whew. That took certainly more than 5 minutes of just standing there clicking. Crazy. But now we have our blank slates. And let's actually take a look at what we can use those for. So beyond runes, we can also use these to make sigils. Sigils allow us to have various effects in the world. So the water sigil makes it so that we can make a pool of water by spending some of our blood points. Lava sigil makes lava. Divination sigil is actually something we're going to want to make right now. That allows us to tell exactly how much LP is in our network that is stored in the orb. So we can then take the divination sigil and bind it to us by right-clicking, and see that we currently have 3,178 LP. And in the altar, 10,000 LP, which is its capacity. So I actually did a good job keeping it pretty much full. I did enough clicking. I'm not surprised. Okay, let's see what else might be necessary, or we can make with these guys. So the important thing here is that we could either use blood runes which can get upgraded to speed rune. Okay, so we need to start by making blood runes. As we can see around the base here, there are 8. So we will need to put 8 blood runes. What was the recipe for that? Oh, pretty simple. And let's just double check. Oops. Speed rune. Oh. Okay. You know what? Let's make them into speed runes, because that's going to speed up everything else we need to do. Great. Now, we just need to take our Wand of Equal Trade. And there we go. Replace the torch, and this should now be a Tier 2 altar. Awesome. A Tier 2 altar means we need a Tier 2 blood orb. So we currently have the simple blood orb. I can't find it here. Anyway, we have a not very impressive blood orb, and we want the apprentice blood orb, which is also not very impressive, but slightly better than what we've got. So, if we take an emerald, and put that into our table here. Now hopefully these speed upgrades will mean that it does not take very long to turn this into an orb. Sorry about that. I was, again, helping my son out. But, as you can see, Blood Altar created our Apprentice Blood Orb. And I'm going to start that filling up. I'll be right back. Okay. Back for a little while at least. So, now we have our Apprentice Blood Orb. And let's add some blood back to the altar really quickly. Great. Now that we have this, let's see what we can do with it. We could use it to make a Void Sigil, which gets rid of water. Air Sigil. This is an awesome sigil. Sigil of the Fast Miner. That's a good one. Rune of Sacrifice. This is what we'll actually need, the Rune of Self-Sacrifice. And we will probably... Oh, Green Grove is great too. But we'll also probably want some ritual stones. Eventually. I don't think we need them just now. So... here is what we will do. You may have noticed that all of these require a reinforced slate. Well, guess how you get a reinforced slate? You upgrade a blank slate. So, if we take our blank slate, and let's make another, we will be able to do some stuff. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm gonna upgrade these slates and I'll be right back. Okay guys. Oop, one sec. Okay. As you can see, I increased the number of torches on this, and I also upgraded it to a tier 3 altar by upgrading all those runes. Now, I've been a little distracted, I'll admit. I don't think I've shown you what I did here. Let me grab a wrench out of my pack here, and I'll be able to better show you what's happening. So, what I have here is a pretty simple setup to replace the hopper I had on top of this. If we look, we can see that it's using our favorite Ender IO conduits, and we have a button on each side, one in the red channel, one in the green channel. If we come down below here, we can see what's happening. The green channel is actually pulling things out of the blood altar, and the red channel is causing things to come out of the chest into the altar. So really just depending upon which button I press, it'll switch items back and forth. And this will allow me to make, stacks of items pretty easily without having to worry about having a hopper up top. If I wanted to, I could play around with item filters to have it automatically draw things out and convert them as I wanted. The issue with that is at different times you want different things that are the reagents for other things, so it has to end up being mostly manual anyway. So I think that is about all we have time for today. Off camera, I will probably make a lot more of those slates, and yeah, start setting things up so that we can upgrade to eventually a tier 4 and hopefully someday 5 altar. I'll also probably make the tier 3 orb. I don't recall what I need to put in here to do that, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.